You see, I feel highly entertained by Tinubu's rhetorics, the way he's dramatizing his own role, in Nigerian democracy. Luckily, we're all alive. Please go. Luckily, we're all alive. We're all there. We're all, participants in that particular, sphere of political activity. So I was in the middle of it. Tinubu became relevant and noticeable after Abacha took over government. Before then, he was in the Senate, was the secretary of the party. And with all respect to him, you see, he was part of those people who were supporting Babangida's annulment of June 12. He was part of it. His own mother, Haja Mogaji from Lagos, was organizing Lagos marching women to come to Abuja to pledge, support for Babangida. I'm saying this because it's simply history. I mean no harm. I mean don't mean to embarrass him. But then you see, he was actively handing gloves to Babangida. Now, when Babangida saw the fact that he was having a problem with the party, he went to the National Assembly to address them. One infamous speech was, they are trying to incite you. It is you they are against. Tinubu was there, and IU became very, very firm and straight on the issue of June 12. He called a meeting, then being the only senior elected person in government at that time, as Senate President. He convened a meeting in Edo, in Benin, working there with the governor, where we went there and reaffirmed our commitment to June 12. All right? Babangida was so angry with IU. When he came by, he removed him and put in a better arrow. A better arrow, he put him there so that, so that they can be aligned to Babangida, political kind of machinations. So when Tinubu today, after being a Nigerian president, decided to rewrite history, trying to maybe deconstruct history and then rewrite it, then it is very, very amusing because he was part of the Babangida's support of June 12. He was part of it. Now, it was only when Abacha took over government that Tinubu then became our so-called activist of June 12. Not only him, all those who are talking about June 12 in Edeco, I mean no harm, I mean no disrespect. I'm simply saying what happened during that time. All of them, those people in Edeco, where were they on June 11? They had no part in June 12. They are not part of June 12 campaign. They are not part of the June 12 activities. What they are never, because most of them are saying they should down look. All of them, because they don't believe they won't work out. So when Abiola won the election, and then after the annulment, they are all very, very passive. But suddenly, after Abacha came on board, removing Sonekam, they became activists. They formed NEDECO. NEDECO was opposed to Abacha, was opposed to election formation. NEDECO was something which was formed, to fight Abacha, not to fight democracy, not to fight for June 12. So whatever Tinubu is doing today is simply reconstructing history the way he thinks is going to fit his own political interests. But then obviously, he was a major supporter of Babangida. Ask Babangida. Ask him. So when you talk about, already June 12, who are those characters? Ebute Ere? Somebody who replaced Ayu for June 12? Who are the others? All of them. So he ran away. We stayed behind. We fought Abacha. I was detained, because of my fight with Abacha. I was detained. He was detained. So all of us, Adamu Churuma, Bola Ege, Yoche Ayu, Kwame, and many others, Bagaji, all of them were there. We fought Abacha. We fought him because we were willing to risk our lives. Tinubu ran away. He was not in the country. He only came back after the whole thing was, after the call was very, very clear. So what I'm saying is, all those advocates of June 12, they are more concerned with the bath water rather than the baby. They are more concerned because most of them were at the end of the meal. When the product was being processed, they simply picked up the product. The process which produced the product, they are not there. They're not part of it. They only pick the product. And today it's not about the victor, but it's about the victory, more than anything else. So we make this kind of distinction. The difference between the victory and the victor. The NEDECO were more concerned with the victory than the victor. As far as they are concerned, in the bathwater they are trying to use, they are trying to hang on to their own kind of riding on top to reinvent, history in Nigeria. Otherwise, I feel embarrassed for the president for the way he's talking. Honestly, ask anybody. Go ask anybody. We're all there. Ask Ayu, ask Gerigana. They are all there. Ask Langiwa. So, what is happening today in Nigeria is simply something very, very laughable. People, who had no political pedigree, who had no political history, who are not known as freedom fighters, are now at the forefront fighting for Nigerian democracy. It's so laughable.
If you see a thief and you allow him to be stealing, what do? You have stolen nobody. That's why we are stealing. You will stone me. Who have you stolen? Few individuals are going away with the money. You have done nothing. You have had $50 billion, not 50 million naira. Not 50. You can say I'm stealing the person, no problem. You can say as much as you want. It's good to steal if you can't fight back. The problem is you have heard about $50 billion. Nobody is talking. You are debating whether.
Give you an example. Before the Yelwater thing happened, the sad, barbarous attack on the people, the peace-loving people in Yelwater, I had on the 27th of last month a security alert sent to me by somebody that the Fulani were planning to attack Yelwater. I have it on my phone. That means before it got to me, it would have reached the security apparatus of this country. Unfortunately, when you see a government where deliberately, Mr. President, irrespective of my appreciation of his visit to Benue, whether it achieves some objective or not, at least it's better than that of the former president. He appointed the NSA, a Fulani man, the Chief of Defense Staff, a Fulani man, the Chief State, what do you call him, the Minister of Defense, Fulani, the Minister of State Defense, Fulani. Now, when such information reaches these high offices, do you think it will go beyond that? It will not.
But those are just allegations.
It is not issue, whether it is an allegation, a security report. If an ordinary citizen like me can have it forwarded to my phone by somebody.
And you can authenticate the source of that security report.
The security apparatus in this country would have had it. The DSS would have investigated it. The DIA would have investigated it. They would have confirmed. But when the people at the top are people who belong to those ethnic nationalities being under consideration or under probe, then what would become of it? Nothing. So if on 27th, an ordinary person like me got a wind of this thing, and it came and happened, and people were massacred, over 200, then you know there's something wrong in this country. What the Totif said is correct. Just add to that and say it is being driven by Islamization and Fulanization.
Okay.
If you see a thief and you allow him to be stealing, what do? You have stolen nobody. That's why we are stealing. You will stone me. Who have you stolen? Few individuals are going away with the money. You have done nothing. You have had $50 billion, not 50 million naira. Not 50. You can say I'm stealing the person, no problem. You can say as much as you want. It's good to steal if you can't fight back. The problem is you have heard about $50 billion. Nobody is talking. You are debating whether can he talk to the president like that. How did you know he talked about it? Why should CBN governor even write about it in the first place? In some countries, people will be on the street until they return that money. $50 billion is 8 trillion naira. It will change Nigeria. If you see a thief and you allow him to be stealing, what do? You have stoned nobody. That's why we are stealing. You will stone me. Who have you stoned?
So, Kashim became governor. He served for 8 years before he handed over to Zulum, and then he went back to Senate. It was from Senate, now he became vice president
Yes,
for
yes.
Tipen. Yeah. So yeah, there are people that are just fortunate or they are lucky in their life, and yeah, and then they become whatever they become. So yeah, Nigeria is not a fair place in terms of equity, fairness, and justice. But again, life is not fair generally. Even between you and me, life is not fair. So even in your house, life is not fair. So those who get to power get to power. Those who don't get, they don't get to. Again, a lot of factors play out. Sometimes luck, sometimes destiny, sometimes your hard work, sometimes your influence, sometimes who you know, sometimes your contact, sometimes your network, right? So a lot of things happen, and yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah, yeah,
I see, I see.
yeah. So yeah, but yeah,
That
I know.
makes a lot of sense.
Hmm?
I say makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So yeah. So
All these people when they enter this space, they run away. Waiting, they worry them now.
no, it's within their right now. They have the right to come in and go. You cannot force people to stay in your space now, Abby.
Yeah, yeah. Even the what is they call the anonymous guy don't come out. He don't come back again.
Hmm?
I said the anonymous person been don't come out. He don't come back again.
Yeah.
Anyway, na very that okay. I now see why Kashim was Zulum. But it be like una no dey do these zoning things for those states, those northern states like north, east, northwest. I mean for one state, right? You dey rotate power.
Okay. So first of all, uh, north the political space in the north is different from what you guys have in the south, right? So, like Borno State, I can talk about Borno State, I can talk about Adama, I can talk about Yobe, I can talk about Bauchi, I can talk about Gombe, I can talk about Northeast in general, the six states in the Northeast, I can talk about them. And then I can also talk about Kano. Again, generally.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
So,
start with that Kano because I
so,
know Ibrahim Shekarau and Kwankwaso, they are from the same senatorial district. And they were governor for a period of 16 years together. So what happened to the other senatorial districts?
so, first of all, Kano is like the capital of the North when it comes to politics issues, right? In fact, there's this saying, excuse me, that Koda Mekazo and Pika. So in Kano, it is believed that whatever you bring to Kano, you'll meet somebody that knows better than you or can outsmart you. So usually, um, even though politically and strategically, Kaduna seems to play a greater role in the northern Nigeria, but at the surface, people use Kano as a roadmap. Now, if you observe, most of the presidents from the north are from Kaduna, or they are residing in Kaduna. You talk about people like okay, sorry, not Kaduna. They are from Northwest. Let me not put that way. Let me correct myself. They are from Northwest. So Northwest seems to be politically advantaged in the North. Maybe majorly because of the kind of vote they usually produce, whether it is real vote or rigging or manufactured vote. I don't. That is a different conversation for another day. But if you look at it, all the presidents from the North, they are from Northwest. right?
Yeah,
You only have some exceptions, very few exceptions, which are from Northeast. Now,
that is Abacha.
hmm?
Only Abacha that has come from Northeast and Tafa Belewa.
Yes. And Abacha is from Borno, right? Tafawa is from
Borneo.
Bauchi, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and you also remember the other Muslim ticket that was nullified. The VP was somebody from Borno State, Kingibe, right?
Borneo. Yes. Yes.
So, but in terms of political calculations, usually it is pre-assumed that Kano has a very delicate politics, right? So, Ibrahim Shakarau was governor for 8 years in Kano, whom he came from Kano Central. Konkoso was a governor in Kano for 8 years. And then Ganduje was also a governor from Kano. And now Abba Yusuf.
Where which side is Ganduje from?
Ganduje is also from the metropolis.
Is
He's
he
from the
also from
central.
Central?
I think so. I am not sure, but I can check. But I know he's from the because I served in Kano, right? And
Okay.
uh, yeah, so Ganduje is from Kano, but I'm not sure in terms of his senatorial district. Let me check. Kano governors and their
Greetings, y'all. Greetings. My bad.
senatorial seats. He said,
Bawani.
sorry, it's like a speaking language I don't understand. I'm not sure.
Bawani.
Yeah, so again, based on what I have here, uh, the governors from Kano, right? The first governor from Kano is Audu Bako. During the military, he was a military governor, right? Sani
Okay.
Bello was a military governor too. Ishaya Shakara, he's a military governor too. Mahmoud Abubakar Rimi was a civilian governor. And then Aliyu Sabo Bakinzao, he's also a. So let's go to the civilians ones, right? The first one is Kabiru Ibrahim Gaya, right? He was
1999.
Yes, he was 1992 to 1993. I think he only did one term. He was
Okay.
elected as a senator for Kano South in 2007 and has served continuously since then. Till okay, up to now, the guy is a serving senator, right?
I see.
Rabi Musa Konkoso, he was a governor from 1999 to 2003,
Three.
and then
Yes.
he failed.
He's from
And Ibrahim
he's
Shakarau,
from Kano Central, right?
yeah, he is from Kano Central. He failed,
Now
and Shakarau
Shekarau
become governor, right?
and Shekarau is also from Kano Central.
Yes, Shakarau is from Kano Central. So after Shakarau, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was governor for 8 years.
From which side?
He, they say none. He does not have. He does not. I think he's from the central too.
Okay, and he's Fulani, right? Yeah,
Uh,
Gandhi.
I'm I'm not sure if he's Fulani. I'm not sure because now I don't want to. Let me check what is their tribes because I do you know why I don't want to say yes or no because you see there are people that they are not Fulani but they claim Fulani officially.
Okay, so that they can gain political power.
Yes,
Just like in Kwara State, if you're not Fulani, you can almost not win the election.
but you know Kwara is not a Fulani state now. It's supposed to be a Hausa state.
Now Yoruba people even plenty. Now them be the biggest for number for Kwara State.
I think it's because of this so-called again. I don't want to talk about those things. I think it's because of these things around the Fulani, whatever, right? So everybody
Yeah,
want to be identified as Fulani. So
Yes, yes.
Ibrahim, so look at it. If you check online, you will see that Kabiru Ibrahim Gaya is Hausa Fulani. Rabi Musa Konkoso is Hausa Fulani. Ibrahim Shakarau is Hausa Fulani. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje is Hausa Fulani. But I can tell you, hmm, there is nothing like Hausa Fulani. Hausa Fulani is a political term, like Midwelt. It does not exist in reality, right? Because Hausa Fulani is a political term that people created to conquer the Hausa. The Fulani created to conquer the Hausa people. So if you trace, all these guys are Hausa people. But because they want to get political stability or political acceptance, they are now say their tribe is Hausa Fulani. I don't know if you get the point, but I doubt
Yeah,
much
I get
if they are
it.
Fulani, because again, when you go deeper, you realize that in the Nigerian history, we don't even have indigenous Fulani people in a particular state because they are known as headers, right? They move from one state to the other. And even historically, Hausa has majority of there's what we call Hausa Banza Bakwai, right? This is Zaria, Katsina. Like there are states that were occupied by Hausa people during the early ages of Nigeria independence. But now those states have been taken over by Fulani. And if you go to history, you don't have Fulani in those states. You only have Hausa people. But before they were taken over by Fulani, they used to call them Hausa Fulani, you know. But there's nothing like Hausa Fulani. It's just a political term.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand it.
Nigeria is very tricky because there's a lot of lies in Nigeria that if you're not careful, they are rewriting the history of that country. So a lot of things just fly around and people just take it like that. And now that they have stopped teaching history in secondary schools, so it's very difficult for you to know the truth, right? If I have not lived in Kano now, and you tell me Congo say is Hausa Fulani, I will tell you you're lying because I know he's a Hausa guy. But most of them don't associate themselves as Hausa. It's just like now in the north, many Christians they bear Muslim names, right? The reason they
Uh,
do that is so that they can be able to be easily be accepted. So there are people that are Christian that you see them bearing Adamu, for example. See them here bearing Musa, for example. See them
yeah, yeah.
bearing Ibrahim, for
Even that,
example.
even that boss Mustafa, I was wondering why he was having a. His name is Mustafa.
And he's a Christian.
Yes, yes, yes.
So there are a lot of northerners that bear a Quranic name, but they are Christians. In their generation, there is no Muslim.
Yes, yes, yes.
And this is because if they don't have those names, they will not be accepted either in university or in polytechnic or even at workplaces, right? So because there's that systematic issues, they try to accept certain things, right? Because now all my life in the north, I've never believed that there are Christians in Kano until when I served. When I served in Kano, there are actually communities in Kano that are Christian dominated, but you don't hear them politically. They are like they don't exist. But when you go to Kano, they exist in reality. If you go to Sokoto, if you go to Katsina, if you go to Zamfara, there are communities that they are 95% Christians. But politically, you don't hear them. They don't exist completely. And you will be shocked that that community may have, let's say, 10,000 people, but you see that their king is a Muslim. But the 9,500 are Christians.
Wow.
Places like that exist. So when you hear anything politically, they are pre-assumed to be Muslims. And you know, because also this Bible madness, oh, be a peacemaker, be a this, be a this, they are always okay to be second class citizens in their own country. you know, and they don't even have a problem with that, right? And those things exist. But like I said, if not because I served in Kano, if you tell me those things are there, I will not believe you. I will think you're lying until I went there and served. In fact, if you go to Kano metropolis, places like Sabongari, where 98% are Igbos, right? In most of the churches
So
in Kano,
why don't that thing reflect in election results?
it reflects they used to have even chairman as Igbos.
But in general election, we not see it now.
But the general election, what is general election? Again, you also have to be very careful when you say things like that, because now this is it. General election in Kano, let's say presidential, for example, right? In
Yeah.
Kano, you will never see one party winning Kano. It has never happened in Kano history. There is none. It is always PDP, APC, and another party, right? So if you're getting like 3 million votes from Kano, and let's say Sabongari is 200 people, how do you know that they voted a different party?
So if Sabongeri have up to, let me say, should they not have up to 100,000 voters?
They may even have one more than that.
So because of before the election, some people say that Igbos in Kano
Mm.
are up to 2 million, that they are more than the Igbos at Ebonyi State.
Well, again, first of all, first of all, I will not say yes or no, right? But I can also tell you that we have significant number of Igbos in Kano. That's number one. Number
But it's
two,
not significant anything now. So how come?
what
Or did they
what do you
not
mean?
vote in
Wait,
the
wait,
last?
wait, wait.
Did
What
they
do you
not
mean by
vote
it's
in the
not
last
significant anything?
presidential election?
What do you mean it's not significant anything? I don't understand what you mean by it's not
Did
significant
they,
anything.
did they not vote in the last election?
What was the vote in the last election?
In Kano State, PO has about 30,000 or 20 something thousand votes in Kano.
So if people has 30,000 and 27,000 in Kano, how sure are you that that vote, you can also be a Christian and then you vote for Atiku Abubakar or for Tinubu. So that does not negate the fact that there are no Igbos in Kano.
No, the Igbos there, if you have up to 2 million Igbos, right? And let me
Bro,
say
first, wait,
400,000.
let me
Wait,
explain
let
you
me
something
say,
first. Wait, let me explain you something first that you have to understand about Kano first. First of all, Kano has 44 local government, right?
yeah.
The city center, where we call them metropolis, has about, let's say, 8 local government area councils, right? In this city center that has 8 local government area councils, you have 2 or 3 communities that 95% of them are Muslim. And these communities is the Sabongari that we call. In fact, churches are built on in this community. Now, let me tell you how interesting it becomes. Number one, don't forget, you also have another, we say 44 local government, right? 8 are metropolis. So you have 36 that are outside the town, right? In each of these 36, you have Igbos too, because I've been there, right? But when it comes to election period, number one, most Igbos travel to their home to do election because of the fear of what normal happens
No,
in Lagos.
they
That's
don't,
number one.
they don't, they
T-
don't,
Wait
Tuesday.
now,
Good
they don't
morning.
come home.
Good morning.
wait now. Let me finish
Good
first.
morning.
You calm down. That's number one factor.
No,
Number two
Tuesday, they
factor.
don't come home. The only thing
eh,
you will say that they will just stay at home in their house.
I'm
But you
coming.
say that they will travel
You
to
did
southeast to go
you
and
did not
vote.
you did not
No,
finish. You did not allow me to finish what I'm saying now. Number one,
it does not.
some travel home, right? Number
It
two,
does not happen.
some stay at home. They don't go out to vote. Number three, majority of them will prefer to stay at home because of security, fear of their life. Number three, even those that go out to vote, some of them will align with what people that are there want. They cannot be expressly vote for the candidate that they want, because for economic reasons, for fear of for their safety and security,
That's
they would
that is
rather go.
that is the point, Tize.
No, no, no.
That is
Wait.
the only
No,
point. That one is the
mm-mm,
only
no.
point, really,
Wait, chief.
honestly.
Wait. You cannot banker on that. Why? Because this is a public space, and I don't. There are things that you cannot bring it on a public space. You have to speak smartly on public spaces. There are Igbos that, in fact, not even in Kano. I give you example like Borno State, for example. In Borno State, we have Jere, MMC, Kwandaga. Let's say Meduguri has 3 or 4 local government that form the part of metropolis, right? But Borno has 27 LGA. Now, 23 LGAs are outside of Meduguri. Usually, these 3 or 4 LGA that form the metropolis, majority of that are people from outside Meduguri. People like me that am from Adamawa State. That's where you find the Igbos. That's where you find people from other states, right? They are in the metropolis. Now, but the vote that comes from Meduguri always is it represents the larger population, not the population within Meduguri. Why? Because even people within Meduguri sometimes they vote in alliance with what people prefer, not what they want. Because they're looking at, if I go, because of 1, 2, 3 vote, my family, my business, my life is at risk. So sometimes I let just go with what people want so that I can stay safe. That's it. And this does not only apply to Meduguri, it applies to every city center. And let me tell you one thing, has always been Abuja that has proven otherwise. And the reason why Abuja always prove otherwise is the criminals are always in Abuja. Abuja is always secure when it comes to politics. So people in Abuja will always express what they want. And from Obasanjo to Tinubu, Abuja has always fallen for opposition. Like Buhari now, during the time of Buhari, he failed in the poly booth in front of Villa. Not because of anything, it's because those guys know they are right. Most of them are not even indigenous people in Abuja, and that applies to most states. Now, but in these states, like Borno, for example, as I was given as an example, me as a Michika man, if I want to vote, if I go to the voting center and I look around, majority they want, let's say, PDP. Me, I want Labour Party. If I see that that place is not secure for me, I would rather go with PDP than to vote Labour Party. And the reason is not far-fetched. The reason is my safety and my security is paramount over just one of my votes. So most of the city centers, that is what they go through.
So I mean, to solve this thing now, what we go do? We say next election, eh? But that will not work because if you tell somebody
Guy,
to come from
see,
Kano to
Alpha,
Southeast to come and
Alpha,
vote,
to solve
that's
that,
nonsense,
the
man.
easiest thing is to do electronic voting. But are we ready for that? That's the easiest thing.
Because now, you know what I'm saying? In Lagos, it is significant enough, right, that the people could vote. I mean, if you talk about population of people, right, it's significant that if they can turn out and you bank on it. So I was also expecting that probably 300,000 votes will come for LP in Kano State. Maybe, I mean,
So again, if election is done under free and fair, right? That's number one. Number two is enabling a conducive environment that is safe for everyone. Number three, if everybody will be protected, then I can tell you that Labour Party can even get more than that in Kano. I hope you know one of the advisors to Tinubu that they resigned. His name is Ibrahim Abdul. I think either Ibrahim Adamu or Ibrahim Abdul Karim. He's from Kano. He used to be the political advisor to Tinubu or to Shetima. He resigned, and he was asked why did he resign. He said he cannot be part of Tinubu's government while he's plotting to remove Tinubu from power. He's from Kano. I don't know if you get my point. So
Yeah.
if people like that will chest Peter Obi in Kano, Peter Obi can even get more than 50% of the vote in Kano. Because normally, most vote in the north is not protected by the police or by the military. No, the police and the military is usually being procured by the ruling power or the people in power. So vote in the north are protected by indigenous people from that community who have links to those in power, whether they are supporting those in power or against those in power. And I will give an example. Someone like that, Adamu Abdul Karim now, if he want to support Labour Party, he can also deploy his own boys across every polling unit in Kano, such that when you come to vote, even if those his boys will give you the confidence to go for Labour Party. But if somebody like him is not in Kano, even if the voters want to vote Peter Obi, if they go to the polling booth and they observe and see that there is nobody that can protect them, they will align with either PDP or with the new party ADA or with APC for their life, because in the north, political decisions is life and death. If you misbehave, you go collect there and then. And usually the police, the military, the DSS are usually being bought over. So voters are allowed with the politically exposed individuals to make decisions for you. And most times politicians procure bad area boys, or let me say for Kano now, we call it Andaba. These are criminals that are known hardened criminals in the areas. So if for example now there's going to be election in Kano, right? Ganduje, who is an APC stalwart, he will deploy his own Ndaba, that he will give them something or give them instruction. Now, ANPP, the guy in power, will deploy his own Ndaba that will give them instruction, right? Then PDP or another political stalwart, let's say Shakarao is in PDP, Konkoso is in ANPP. The current governor, let me reorganize. Konkoso, let's say he's in PDP. The current governor is an ANPP, is an NNPP guy, right? Ganduje is APC. All these three political stalwarts, and let's say Shakarao is Labour Party. I'm just giving an example. Shakarao is who is the former governor is Labour Party. NNPP, the current governor is NNPP. Ganduje is APC, former governor. Konkoso is PDP, former governor. Now, these four political stakeholders, on the day of election or 2 days to election, they will all assemble their own endaba, pay them, settle them. Now, they will deploy them at strategic places or at polling units. So, on the day of election, ordinary voters will go out and express their voting right, because they know that each of their political parties have deployed their endaba. You will see police and soldier, but police and soldier are there to protect the interests of ANPP, because that's the people in power. I mean NNPP, those people in power. So when you go to a polling vote, you see soldier and police. In North, we don't even consider them as anything during election, but we fear this Andaba more than the police and the soldier, because Andaba will give you there and then, and usually they are the party agent to these people. I don't know if you get my point.
Very clear.
And that was why, if you look at it during that coalition of a thing, I was pressing for that coalition. It's not even about people will buy you. No, those people that you see them as Andaba, they are the people that protect for you the vote. They are the people that build people's confidence to even cast for you vote. In the north, PDP can pay you people who they will collect your money, but they will still vote for APC if they want to vote for APC. Because we have seen it. When Ali Sharif finished his 8 years as a governor, he went to each polling unit. I was a PA, a polling clerk, PC, in that election. Ali Sharif visited every polling unit a night to that election. He gave us money. INEC was giving us 75. He gave us 100,000 naira cash and at that election. But he told us something. He said, at the state level, we are ANPP. At the federal level, we are PDP. That's what we want. Don't fight with the locals. If the locals want PDP, allow them to vote. Allow them to exercise their franchise. Because you guys are a NYC core member and our children. We don't want anybody to die. So if the locals want this, allow them. Let them cast their vote. We have settled your people. That's our OGA, our local government coalition officers. They have settled them. The party agent, they have been settled. So our own is go cast your vote. Whatever they have finished the arrangement, that is what they're going to see. The final result will reflect that PDP won the presidential import, but ANPP won the governorship. That was what happened during Ali Sharif. But I can tell you, because Ali Sharif was representing Borno Central, the people in the Central refused to vote for him. They failed him. He could not go to the Senate. But if he was from either all these outskirts communities, he will win. So most times the vote that you see, most times are not the true reflection of what people want. It's the reflection of who do you have on ground to protect your vote or to give people confidence to vote for you. Come rain, come shine. Anyways, let's wait and see how it's going to play out, because with this Ada now. So now I ask now. So is Peter Obi going to join the Ada or he's not going to join them?
They never even registered the party self.
Okay. Yeah, again, that's another thing though. Because if they register the party, from what I see, Atiku may not contest. If Atiku will not contest, the best way for them to win is to bring in Peter Obi. That's the best way for them to win. Because I know,
You think Atiku will not? You think Atiku will not contest
yeah,
to play?
from the grapevine I'm hearing, he's not going to contest. Again, politicians are politicians. I'm not telling that he told him that he's not going to contest. Well, from what I'm hearing, he will likely not contest. Him, El Rufai, they will likely not contest. They will likely not contest. El Rufai, I know he's positioning either himself or somebody for 2031. For 2027, I can beat my chest that El Rufai is not going to contest. For Atiku, I can say 50-50, but I am beginning to go increasing that he may not contest. That's my personal thought though. But because politicians, they can fail you at any time. But from most of the conversation I'm hearing, he will not likely contest.
Yeah, that would be very good. I don't want to see him on the ballot, please. Very good.
Brother, it's not about you, it's about the majority of Nigerians.
I'm saying that's why I said we. I said I didn't say I. I said we. But personally, I don't want to see him. I said we because I'm not the only one who shares this.
But
So not
but
because I
but
have
but
anything
but
against him.
but do you know one thing? If I was in if I'm in the position to make decision, right? This new party, I would have moved around the country. All the ex-politicians, the bad ones, the good ones, I would have asked them to come together, agree, sheathe our sword, push Peter Obi, get one guy that is young amongst them, and pair him with Peter Obi. I am very confident that all these rogue politicians, all this money they have looted, they can put half into the party so that they can have robust resources and engage Bala Ahmed Tinubu and remove him from power. Now, if they remove him from power, I will call that one rescue mission, rescuing the country from APC. Now, if they remove him from power, Peter Obi and whoever they give him, they will do their 4 years. Based on their performance in that 4 years, Nigerians can decide to either vote them in or vote them out. Simple. And being that is a new political party, the party can even have a superiority power over Peter Obi if he did well. They can say, you know what we want is our country to take a better direction. With what we have done, continue another 4 years. He can do his 8 years, and next, another person can continue. Because, to be honest with you, majority of Nigerians, again, this is my personal thought though. Don't say we Northerners. No. Now I am speaking as Tijes Nobuga on behalf of myself, my wife, and my 2 kids. So please don't say Northerners. No. Me. On behalf of myself, my wife, and my 2 kids. I could have loved that this new party move around and people like Alpha should be discarded. Because I feel people like Alpha, this one of either Peter Obi or nobody, I don't agree with him. I'm speaking my mind. Rally around the country, mobilize every former politician, strike a deal. The money that you have looted is a Nigerian money. Even if you make power, we are not going to prosecute you, but bring 50%. Put it into the party. That is the deal that we're going to do. Put into the party, make the party a very strong political party, engage Tinubu, remove him from power, and then Peter Obi, they are giving Peter Obi as a chance, not whatever. Peter Obi, from what we have seen in the political space now, you are the only person that can mobilize this youth. We are giving you the party ticket. As people who form this party, we are going to get one young politician to work with you. You guys strengthen our country. Because the issue is there's always that road for patriotism. We have destroyed this country. We have failed this country. We want you guys to do something. Now, they give them 4 years. In that 4 years, if Peter Obi and his deputy was able to prove true leadership, now the party can say, you know what? Because you guys did well, we are renewing you guys for another 4 years. Now, in his 8 years, whatever they're able to do, the party will look inward and now give their ticket to another emerging politician, maybe one of these governors in the north that has proven that he's reliable, that has proven that he is for the people, that have shown true leadership. Because in 8 years, 8 years is a long time. But if Peter Obi was given 4 years with his deputy and then they did not deliver, fine. The party still can look for another governor, either from the north or from the east, who have done well and give him the party ticket. Because for me, we need to move away from this north-south dichotomy and begin to look at who is willing to change our country's trajectory for the best. That's all. And I can tell you, majority of Nigerians does not give a fuck who is the president and the vice president if the country is doing well. Majority, whether they are Muslim, whether they are Christian, whether they are from the north or from the south, I can tell you, average majority from the average Nigerians, they don't give a fuck who is the president or the vice or ministers. No, all they want is they want a country where the basics are available. Life is medium. It does not have to be very cheap. At least it's affordable. Security of life and property is paramount. That's all Nigeria. And you know one thing with Nigerian voters, they don't need much. You don't need to do much to appease them. To be honest, you don't. Just do the basics. You can steal, but invest in the country. They don't give a fuck. Nigeria don't have problem with even looters. No, they don't. Because we have a mindset of it is your time. When my time reach, I'll do the same thing, or I'll even do worse than you. So all we needed is people who can reason and even give us a reason to be politically inclined. That's my thought, though. Please don't say Northerners. This is Tijes Nebuga on behalf of myself and my wife and my kids. This is what I think. But again, who am I to make decision? Who am I? I am nobody. But at this time where we are, I don't want to hear people like my guy Alpha that it has to be this or nobody, because I can tell you The level where we are right now, we just need somebody to rescue the country. Unfortunately, I may
Till
have the
tell us now. Tell us an
I may be
alternative.
wrong.
Let's remove the Alpha's man. Let's remove him in the picture. Give us an alternative. God forbid anything happens to that man today. Give us an alternative.
To
Who?
who? To which man? To which man are you talking about?
Dr. CJ, but it did not remove Alpha's man from the picture.
No,
He's saying that
no,
it
no, no,
presents
no,
that
no, no.
Alpha's
I'm
man.
trying to have a just hold on, Yusuf. Sorry, no vex. I'm just trying to speak to Caesar now.
Mm,
Let's, God forbid,
mm,
this is just on like wild this thing. P2V
mm.
decides that he's not in the picture. Like something just happens. This guy is not in the picture anymore.
Okay, okay.
What's is there any alternative we have as a people now, credible that we
Yes,
can look up to and say, yeah,
yes.
please let me hear, please.
We have. We have Alex Otte. He can be the president ticket. He can be given the ticket. You can give Alex Otte and give my current governor of
Okay,
Adamawa State as vice president. That's an option. It's
okay.
a good combo.
At least there's an alternative, right?
Yes.
That doesn't take us into this rabbit hole of
By the way,
this.
let me tell you one thing, bro. Let me tell you one thing. I think we need to, like I keep saying, we have to remove ourselves from this messiah mentality in Nigeria. There is nobody that is coming to save us in Nigeria. Only we ourselves can save ourselves. And what I mean by that is, when you look around in the south, in the north, there are politicians, whether that are either senators, governors, or member House of Representatives, that have proven over time that they are reliable. Let me even tell you something. Do you know today, if you tell me, okay, remove Peter Obi from the ticket, give me two politicians, I can give you Alex Otte and Adamo Governor as vice. That's an option. If you tell me remove those two guys, present another person, I will tell you try Natasha as president or as vice, and then I can give you another person again. Nigeria, we have many people that they can rescue Nigeria. Don't make it look as if it is only Peter Obi that can rescue Nigeria. I disagree that those.
No, it's not only P2V. Myself, me myself, I can rescue Nigeria.
And let me tell you one thing.
Mm.
You see me that I'm talking. Whether I'm reason why I'm not even putting myself in the equation. One, by the way I'm coming from, I'm disadvantaged. By my upbringing, I'm disadvantaged. I don't have the money, I don't have the influence. Nobody has ever seen me as a local government chairman or senator, whatever. So I have removed myself from the equation. But I can tell you, me like this, at least I've worked in East Africa, I've worked in Nigeria, I've worked in many countries, I've done so many things in my life. Me like this, if you give me Nigerian presidency, I can do that thing. I can do that shit. The only problem you're going to have people like me is that I am ruthless. That's one. Two, you're not going to get the normal politician that you used to know. Somebody that will be banting, building for you churches or mosques. You are not going to get it. That's the problem. People like me, you will not even like it. But I know your future will like it. But you will not like this going to Jerusalem. I will ban it. I will say you can go with your personal money, but not government money funding it. No. This going to Makkah. I will shut it down. You can go with your personal money, but not with government money. Building of mosques or churches in government building, I will ban it. That's your personal business. I am here for education, health, road, future of the kids of Nigeria. That's all. That's what I'm going to do. And some politicians, all these people that have been looting Nigeria, I will confiscate all those things and turn it to government building. I know people will like, people will hate me. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. People like me, there are many people in fact, there are people who will do more than me in Nigeria. But the problem is they don't have that access to power. They don't. And they will not even be considered. Again, let me even tell you, aside people like me, and I will also give you another options. You see, in Nigeria today, the people that I feel can rescue Nigeria. Apart from the politicians, we have technocrats. All these businessmen, some of them, if you're giving them the opportunity, they can do better than our politicians. Just look for one businessman that is a successful guy that does not have a criminal record. He can do these things. He can do it. There's no big deal there. They can do it. In our banking sector, see, let me tell you one thing. Just call the DG, DSS, or one state director of DSS. Tell him, run for me a check on the bank CEOs in Nigeria. The person who has never involved himself in a scandal, in whatever. They can do it. They can do it. We must not have politician. Even Yusuf here. Even my lecturers when I was in University of Maiduguri, I know people that I can trust them with Nigeria. They will do well. They have the skill, they have the capacity, they can do it. But we're not thinking about them because completely. Let me even tell you, most of the people that did well in Nigeria as president or governors, most of them are technocrats. Look at this guy, the former president, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. He was a lecturer. He was picked as vice president from. He wanted to be governor of that place. And then he was a lecturer. Look at Umaru Musa Yaradua. He was a lecturer. You see, if most of them that are doing well in the political space, most of them are classroom lecturers. So you're not telling me that all the university we have in Nigeria, like another woman, that woman that saved Abia State, Professor Zin Inene or Ineka. I don't know her. I've not met her. Give her president or vice president. She will do well. Give her like Ngozi Nwela. She will do well. The former president of African Development Bank, this Aki Yomi, the one Yoruba guy like that, he will do well. Abi Tony, or even Tony Onumele, he can do well. He can do better than most of our politicians. Wige, the guy that died, this Access Bank, whatever, he can do better. We have people that in Nigeria that can do well. In fact, Dangote can do better than most of our politicians. I know he's a capitalist too, but because of his business thought, he can do better. See, I can tell you, there are many people in Kano that are businessmen. Give them the Kano governorship ticket, they will do better than the current crop of politicians that we have. That who all they know is loot, and leave the country dry. So we have good people in Nigeria. The problem is our recruitment system, our political system. If you're not a criminal or a thief, it's difficult for you to break through. It's difficult. It's difficult. You were here when APC was selling their presidential from 100 million. Tell me, your professor and your investor, how much is his salary? Do you know what it means to save 100 million in Nigeria? You have to be a thief. And now, I saw on this X, I saw somebody was breaking down the cost of election. Do you know that you cannot be a member in Nigeria if you don't have billions in your account, or a senator or a governor? That's how we have commercialized these political office holders. So except somebody sponsor you, or you loot, or somehow you're part of one government, you cannot even aspire those positions because we have commercialized, we have made it to the highest bidder. That's how Tinubu came into power. And sometimes that's why sometimes I respect Tinubu. I don't want to insult him sometimes because this is somebody who has spent billions of naira to be there. So he has to recoup his money. That your coastal highway, it is to remove his money that he has spent in campaign. It's not that he want to give you guys coastal road. No. It's to recoup his money because once he did not come back, nobody's going to ask for that road again. Nothing's going to happen. That's the end. And I can tell you, Tinubu will finish his first 4 years. That road, 100 kilometers will not be constructed. We can bet with you here. At least we have 4 here. We can bet with you. So we know these things, but we are not ready to fix it. Our way of recruiting politicians in Nigeria is very expensive. A normal somebody who have not stolen or who is not a criminal can barely break through in that kind of system. Look at the campaign time of last 2023. Peter Obi literally has to visit every state, either in helicopter or in a plane. You think is anybody that can afford to rent a plane? Go and ask how much it is. And you have to visit at 6 states. Just that alone. How many people can afford? So, brother, even we ourselves, we are not ready. Even with the citizens, we are not ready. So, wahala dey. Am I lying? At least you are in Kaduna, you know what I'm talking about.
TZ, you're not lying, man. The truth is bitter. You're saying the truth, but nothing but the truth, right? But those are the things you just have to deal with. I swear to God, you are spitting the truth for free, my brother.
So, this
And
is
I'm so I'm scared. Wallahi, when I saw this other party, I was like, do you understand what's going on? I think the coalition and the opposition, they are confused. And what their confusion is confusing me. I swear to God. I don't even know. Right now, I'm still studying. In short, I think I have to just keep quiet for a while and study these people. I don't understand where this train is going to. I don't understand. For now, the more I'm seeing, the more I am seeing, the more I'm getting confused. I swear to God, TZ.
me, somehow,
Wallahi, I don't know. For now.
somehow, I am thinking that Tinubu is half boys in this Ada. That he wants them to split the vote because Peter Obi will run, Ada will run, he will run, and if that happens, he has higher chances of clinging to power. So that
But TZ, we saw this coming now.
so,
TZ, me and you, we saw this one coming,
uh-huh,
and we have discussed about it
yeah,
before. We saw it coming.
so that once he finishes 8 years, because let me tell you, if opposition did not come together, there are two things that can happen. If Peter Obi together, people who are in APC right now will fund this other party, and Ada will form a government. But as far as Peter Obi is on his own, Ada is on his own, PDP is on their own, Labour Party is on their own, APC will be the most happiest political party in Nigeria because they know that all this opposition, they are not serious. Now, APC will finish their 8 years. Now, but when they finish their 8 years, 2031, APC is going to explode because by then, nobody will be able to control APC. Even right now, the reason why APC is quiet is because the opposition, they are not working together. If opposition, because as of last week, we had 8 governors from APC that are willing to invest in the coalition. 8 governors. Do you know what that one means? Right now, the governors of APC, I think they are 20 something. So yeah, they are close. Let's say even they are 37. Let's pretend like people like all these other governors that refuse to join, but they are playing to the gallery of Tinubu. Let's
Yes, like the Abga governor. We know
Yes,
it's APC governor.
like the Abga
Yeah, like that.
president, right? The governor, right? The governor of my state, the Adamawa governor, because this is his last tenure, he's playing very careful because all he wants is the person that will take over from him. Tinubu should allow him to choose the person and put the person, whether in PDP or in Labour Party or in the coalition. That's what he wants. And the reason is he doesn't want investigation. Simple, right? Now, right now, in that 30 governors that are telling you they are in APC, I can tell you 15 of them are willing to do on the in-house fight. They will stay in PDP, in APC to make sure Tinubu does not return. But that new party, they have to strike a rule with you, like what Wike did last election. There are many APC governors now that are willing to do the same thing for the coalition. But if the coalition is going this route that they are going, they would rather wait for Tinubu to finish his 8 years and see what will happen in 2031. Because in as much as me and you, we want a better country, for the politician, Nigeria now is the best country. Because I can tell you, all governors in Nigeria, they are getting more money. So as far as they are concerned, now this is the best time to be a governor in Nigeria. To you as a citizen, this is the worst time to be a citizen. But that is your own interest. In their own interest, this is the best time because they get more money, but they do less. And all of you will come here to still appreciate them for the less that they do. Right? So, as far as this coalition is not working together, Peter Obi and all the other guys, if they cannot come together and face Tinubu, forget it. They are jokers. Tinubu is coming in 2027. Whether he will win or he will rig himself, he's coming back as our president. He will finish his 8 years if he did not die. And then after the 8 years, APC will now explode internally. Now, at that
Yeah,
time, Yusuf, you want to say something?
yeah, and it's going to be easier for him to rig if the coalition don't work.
Yes,
If they don't come together,
yes.
it'll
But
be easier for him to rig.
if Nigerians and their politicians wants to take over power from Tinubu, this is the right time. Those who are close to Peter Obi advise him to work with the new party. Of course, El Rufai is not running. From every indication, he's not running. If they come together, it's easy to pressurize Atiku. Atiku has been a vice president. He can calm down and put somebody there. It's not a big deal for him. He's a successful businessman. Maybe he may strike a deal with them. Okay, whoever you form the government, I need ABCD contract. No problem. They can give it to him. It's not a big deal. But as far as we are going into this 2027 election, more than two-man horse race, forget about it. Tinubu is your president. Just bear with him for the next 6 years. And don't come here and be crying to people like us because we have advised you. Because me, my own advice is not from a religious perspective, it's not from emotional perspective, it's not from Messiah perspective. I can tell you there is no politician that is in Nigeria is a Messiah to anybody. There's none. Just put it in the back of your mind. There's nobody that is a Messiah. All this our mentality of Messiah is that is why all these scammers work on us. We are so emotional in what we do. We don't just sit down and ask critical questions and know that politics in Nigeria is very expensive. You cannot, from your work of life, fund it. No. In this group, all of us can be governor because one of you here is less than 30 years old. Look at our history. There are people who have been governor at something years old. And you could see now that Tinubu he has dumped Kashim Shetima. So most probably Tinubu will bring one Christian that is well known in the north somehow, whether it's going to help you or not. But if Tinubu bring in a Christian from the north that has influence politically, even if it is not much, even if it is a small influence, a lot of Christians who are religiously inclined to their religion, they will go with Tinubu and the other guy. Don't forget, see, sometimes when I say this thing, people look at me like I am a religious bigot. No, I'm telling you the reality of the voter out there, not me. Me, I don't give a fuck. But most of the politicians, most of the voters there, they consider their religion as one of their key factors in their voting, right? So I don't
And
think
these politicians, these politicians, they know how to play this religious
they know
card.
it.
They know how to play it.
Very
They know how to touch. You understand the ethnic. They can play it very well, for their own personal gains, and we're not seeing it.
In fact,
It's unfortunate.
don't be shocked. Tinubu can decide to bring one pastor as his vice next election. Uh, this guy tried it now. What do you call him? Buhari tried it several times. Most of the time that Buhari was running, he was bringing Pastor Bakari. He was bringing all these religious guys. He was doing it deliberately, but it was not working. So right now, Tinubu is in power. All he needed is somebody that he can use sympathy. He can use the Christian with some because, in as much as we don't want to accept these things, religion play a vital role in our politics. So all that Tinubu need to do, bring one Christian from the north, Shikena, and let that Christian be able to move around. Shikena, he will use his INEC because remember he has not even appointed the INEC chairman. He will appoint one Igbo guy or one Yoruba guy that is a Christian, for example. He will appoint him. You will think that they will do something. He will make sure that there's a strike deal between him and that guy. And you see, right now he does not even have opposition from the Senate or from the reps. So what do you expect? But I expected more from our opposition leaders. people like Peter Obi and them. They should come together, keep their differences aside, come together and say, you know what? We need to rescue the country first. That's what I think. But like I said, this is my personal opinion on behalf of myself and my wife and my kid. It's not a Nigerian or a Christian or whatever. No, this is my personal perspective. You can insult me for whatever you care, but politics is beyond what we think. It's not win on Twitter. And again, even here on this Twitter, all of us are bachelor holders, right? All of us are Christians. I mean, agree on one person. There are people that will still come here and defend Tinubu in the next 8 years. So if here amongst us that we are graduate, we have traveled, in fact, some of us have tested good governance, where influencers, they stay in UK, US, Canada, Europe, not even in Nigeria. So if we can have people like that are not in Nigeria, but they will still, who have tested good governance, but they will still support Tinubu with their chest. Imagine that village woman in your village who have not even stayed in Abuja in a good hotel. Imagine that woman that was born and brought up in a Christian home, who don't even know another religion exists apart from Islam and Christianity. Imagine that young voter who wake up, who grew up, and 2027 is his first voting time. He knows Tinubu is a Muslim, but Tinubu's wife is a Christian. And then he sees that the next VP is a Christian, and the secretary to the government of federation is a Christian from Benue. What do you expect him to do? If he's a young grew up with religion mindset, he will go for Tinubu. In fact,
la 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 la.